الحمد لله رب العالمين، له الحمد الحسن والثناء الجميل، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له يقول الحق وهو يهدي السبيل، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. The stories in the Quran, there are many, and the essence of every story in the Quran are the lessons learned, the moral lessons learned from those stories. Also, al-ahkam, legislations derived from those stories. Musa Alaihi'Ssalam's story was mentioned in the Quran in more than 70 places in the Quran, more than 70 times. And every time the story of Musa is mentioned, and it tackles some of the aspects. But if you put them all together, all the pieces together, they will give you the full puzzle picture, and you will see it all together. Inshallah ta'ala, one of the pieces of the puzzle is the story of Musa alayhi salam in Madyan, and many moral lessons to be learned from that story. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that in Surah Al-Qasas. And the backdrop of that is when Musa alayhi salam grew up in the castle of Fir'aun, and of course during that period Fir'aun had a verdict consulting with the Coptics, the Aqbat, where they are the closest to Fir'aun and his surrounding. And then the verdict was because of a dream that he saw that someone from Banu Israel is going to take over his kingdom and throw him off. So they said the solution would be to really kill every newborn boy from Banu Israel. Now again, to even stretch back, what did Banu Israel, how did they end up in Egypt in the first place? This takes place in Egypt. How did they end up there? They end up there with his forefather, Yusuf alayhi salam. Because this is how Banu Israel ended up in Egypt. They came with Yaqub alayhi salam when Yusuf became the Aziz, the minister in Egypt. And then he invited his father and mother and all of his family, and they joined, and that's how the life started for Banu Israel in Egypt. But over time, إِنَّ فِرْعَوْنَ عَلَى فِي الْأَرْضِ. And then Fir'aun, being that he is an arrogant person, he started oppressing Banu Israel. Banu Israel, this is a whole community of the children of Israel that grew up in Egypt, being oppressed day and night. Labor work, not getting paid, all type of oppression. Musa alayhi salam, what they used to do is they would every other year, because now finally after they realized that Banu Israel literally are the one that carry in the weight of all of the labor that's been done in the country, in the land. And then by killing the children, what they will do, they set themselves for a problem in the future when the generation after generation is going to come to an end. What is the solution? They said, to minimize the danger of that, let's skip 1 year. 1 year, we'll kill they will kill the newborns, boys, and the other, they will let them be. Musa alayhi salam had a sister by the name of Maryam and a brother by the name of Harun. Harun was born in the year where they were not supposed to kill the children, the newborns. Musa alayhi salam, however, was born in the year that they were supposed to execute every newborn. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to the mother of Musa alayhi salam to nurse her son, Musa alayhi salam. Why? So that he is quiet. Because she was hiding him from the eyes and ears of Fir'aun. So nobody would know that she has a newborn. Allah Ta'ala says, nurse him. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ. But if you're too worried about him being taken by Fir'aun and his soldiers and being executed, فَأَلْقِهِ فِي الْيَمِّ. Throw him in the river. Where's the logic in that? If you're worried about your kid, throw him in the river. Your logic and my logic says that's insanity. Where's the logic in this? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the logic that you recognize and I recognize out the window, because I, Allah, am the one who created the logic that you're dealing with. Logic doesn't apply to me. I'm the one that created logic. And He says, وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي إِنَّا رَادُّوهُ إِلَيْكِ وَجَعِلُوهُ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Don't worry about your son. Put him in and throw him in the river. She put him in crate and then she let him float in the river. فَالْتَقَطَهُ آلُ فِرْعَوْنَ. Allahu Akbar. He ended up in the hands of Fir'aun. Instead of them coming, she sent her own newborn to Fir'aun. لِيَكُونَ لَهُمْ عَدُوًّا وَحَزَنًا. وهم لا إن فرعون وهامان وجنودهما كانوا ظالمين. Because they were oppressive rather. Fir'aun and Haman and all of their soldiers and helpers, they were oppressed, but they have no idea what's coming to them. Because this is the newborn. The wife of Fir'aun, Asiya bint Muzahim, she was a righteous woman that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised in Al-Quran. She saw him. Allah ta'ala already told us in other places in Al-Quran about Musa alayhi salam. Allah ta'ala says, وَأَلْقَيْتُ عَلَيْكَ مَحَبَّةً مِّنِّي وَلِتُصْنَعَ عَلَى عَيْنِي. That when it comes to you, every single human being that would lay eyes on you will love you automatically. This is not something that anybody can help. And that surely applied to the wife of Fir'aun. The minute she saw that newborn that was picked up off the river, she said, لا تقتلوه, please don't kill him. She knew that this year is the year for execution of all newborns. And she said, لا تقتلوه, please don't kill him. قرة عين لي ولك. That would be the apple of our eyes for you and I. Subhanallah, the Mufassirun said that she said that he will be, either we'll take him as a child, as one of our children, or he will help us somehow. He will be a big help for us somehow. Maybe he will inherit he will be the heir of the throne, or he will be family. Fir'aun said, maybe for you, but not for me. Maybe he will be your child, but not mine. SubhanAllah, they said, had he said that maybe he will be a child for me that would be good, like she assumed and she anticipated out of love for Musa alayhi salam, they said Allah Ta'ala would have turned things around for Fir'aun to benefit from Musa alayhi salam. But because the point, Fir'aun grew up in the household. However, when she picked him up, he was a nursing baby. And then he's hungry. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَحَرَّمْنَا عَلَيْهِ إيش? That Allah Ta'ala made it to where he did not accept to nurse from any mother. Any mother. And Banu Israel, all of them are volunteering. All of the women of Banu Israel that are nursing their babies, they're all volunteering to come. Why? Because they wanted to get some money out of it, some gains. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it impossible for him to really even nurse from anyone. At the same time, the mother of Musa alayhi salam said to her daughter Maryam, and by the way, Maryam, her name is Maryam ibnatu Imran, bintu Imran. But people usually confuse her with Maryam ibnata Imran, the mother of Isa alayhi salam. Names are the same, two different figures, two different people. The point, she said, وَقَالَتْ لِأُخْتِهِ قُصِّهِ, go and look for him. Go see where he is. And then she saw that he is in the castle of Fir'aun, and they are looking to find someone to nurse him. فقالت هل أدلكم على أهل بيت يكفلونه لكم وهم له ناصحون. She went to them and she said, I know of a household that would nurse him for you, and they will take good care of him. And then sure enough, they invited the mother of Musa alayhi salam. Inna radduhu ilayk, the promise of Allah ta'ala. We will give him back to you. This is one. The first promise is fulfilled. And then there she is, united back with her newborn baby. Musa alayhi salam grew up in the castle of Fir'aun. وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when he reached the age of maturity, we've given him knowledge and wisdom. And with that knowledge of wisdom, the community started to see the real Musa alayhi salam. Everybody runs to Musa to solve their problems because of wisdom and knowledge that Allah ta'ala gave him. Allah, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ. Imagine your teacher is not so-and-so, and not or a human being, or even Jibreel alayhi salam. Imagine your teacher is Allah who created you. Ya salam. Wattaqullah. The tool though, or the classroom you need to go to for Allah to teach you is the classroom of taqwa. What is taqwa? Is really to accept Allah Ta'ala as your teacher. How? You hear every command of do or don't, and you say, I hear and I obey. This is how you accept, first of all, the application of you being in the classroom of Allah Ta'ala, the one to teach you. Wattaqullah. This is how you invite yourself into that classroom. You don't come across a command and you say, you know what, I'm going to overlook this one or sweep it under the rug or the next, or no. None of the commands nor prohibitions. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will see from you, not wishful thinking or just thoughts, but rather actions. And the faster your pace is towards Allah, that pace is doubled from your end by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from his end. He said subhanahu wa ta'ala, man taqarraba ilayhi shibra taqarrabtu ilayhi dhira'a. That if you draw yourself close to me and the distance of a handspan, I will draw myself towards you an arm length. And then if you walk towards me, I will run towards you. This is if you wanted Allah Ta'ala to be. The point. Musa alayhi salam, however, as he was solving people's problem, وَدَخَلَ الْمَدِينَةَ عَلَى حِينِ غَفْلَةٍ مِّنْ أَهْلِهَا. And then he walked in the city. In one of the circumstances, he came across one from the Coptics, meaning from the surroundings of Fir'aun. And إِنَّ فِرْعَوْنَ عَالَ فِي الْأَرْضِ, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made that disclaimer in the beginning of the surah, saying that Fir'aun is an arrogant person and all of his employees are following his arrogant also commands. So what they used to do, they used to abuse literally their power with Banu Israel. Musa alayhi salam, at this point, everybody in the castle, subhanAllah, with time, everybody knows that Fir'aun is, Musa alayhi salam is from Banu Israel. But they understand it with a totally different take. How? They know that the mother of Musa alayhi salam is not his real mother. He's just a nursing mother. Subhanallah. He's just a nursing mother. When in fact that's his the real mother. And they accepted him as being nursed by a woman from Banu Israel, yet he grew up in a castle. So he is accepted in both worlds. The world of Banu Israel and the world of Fir'aun in the castle. Both he is accepted. And he would really roam between the two worlds, and he lives in both worlds. And he used to solve the problem. Now, he comes across this Coptic employee of Fir'aun with one of the Banu Israel. And then he saw that he is forcing him in a very wrong way to do something by force. فَاسْتَغَاثَهُ الَّذِي مِنْ شِيعَتِهِ. Allah Ta'ala says that one of Banu Israel called for Musa's help. And subhanallah, against the Coptic who is being forceful and arrogant with them. Musa came to really stop the quarrel, and then he shoved that employee from the castle of Fir'aun. فَوَكَزَهُ مُوسَى فَقَضَى عَلَيْهِ. He dropped dead. So subhanAllah, that wasn't the intention at all. Although it is known that one of the descriptions given about Musa alayhi salam, even in Al-Quran, that he was very strong person. Physically, he was very strong. Personality, he's also strong. Very tough, Musa alayhi salam. And subhanAllah, this is why you will see that when he went to get the tablets, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was gone for 40 days, came back, he was handling Banu Israel the whole time. Nobody really could say anything, go off track. But the minute he left him for only 40 days with his brother Harun, because he was a totally different personality, gentle, easy person, they really walked all over him and they started worshiping the calf. The point, Musa alayhi salam was trying to solve this. He pushed the guy, he drops dead. And now he has a dilemma in his hand. And he started hiding. The next day, he walked around and he saw the same person that he saved the day before in a quarrel with another person. قال له موسى إنك لغوي. He says, you are a troublemaker, he said to him. You're truly a troublemaker. And then a man came running, رجل من أقصى المدينة وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى in سورة ياسين القصص وجاء رجل من أقصى المدينة يسعى قال يا موسى. He said to him, يا موسى, there is already a plot, there is already and a decision being made already for you to be executed. Like they say, shoot to kill. You catch him, you kill him. فَخْرُجْ إِنِّي لَكَ مِنَ النَّاصِحِينَ. I'm giving you a serious advice. Get out of town. فَخَرَجَ مِنْهَا خَائِفًا يَتَرَقَّبُ. Musa alayhi salam leaves town. And then he said, رَبِّ نَجِّنِي مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. Oh Allah, save me from this oppressing people. These are oppressive. Allah, save me from their harm. All of the plot, they're trying to really catch and kill me. Oh Allah, save me. فَخَرَجَ مِنْهَا. And he left town. Now imagine somebody who got the news, run for your life. Do you think he's going to go home and start putting backpack and getting his stuff ready? Took off. He says, they are coming. He says, Allah Ta'ala described the person, he just beat them to Musa. In other words, he found Musa before they did. Yes, he came running. And he came from a distance, bearing the news for Musa alayhi salam. So he took off. He took off without food, without anything. Not even knowing where he's headed. All he wants is just to get out of town. He wanted to go to Madyan, to a place, Madyan, a town. in some of the narrations, regardless of where Madyan is, this is هذا علم لا يعني الجهل به لا يضر والعلم به لا ينفع أصلا. These are one of those details that if you know those details, they're not of any benefit to the story. If you don't, they don't really represent any harm to the story in the first place. Because the idea is not about the intricacies of where and how and when and all of that, more than it is about the moral lessons. This is the point of that. Nonetheless, Musa alayhi salam had in mind to go to a town that he knew of called Madyan. ولما توجه تلقاء مدين قال عسى ربي أن يهديني سواء السبيل. When he left, he said, oh Allah, guide me to that right place. Ibn Abbas said, when Musa alayhi salam left town, running away, a fugitive, he had nothing to count on. No sense of direction as to where the place is, nobody to help him, no food, nothing except his trust in Allah. حسن الظن بالله تعالى. Miraculous things happen should you trust in Allah Ta'ala truly. He reaches the town with the GPS granted to him by Allah, not by any knowledge of any sort. He ended up exactly where he was hoping to end up, in Madyan. ولما, when he came to the first place that he reached in Madyan, is a place where there is a well. And being that these are basically farmers, and they live off of, most of them are nomads, and they live off of, sheep and cows and camels. So time comes, and it was hot summertime, time for them to give water to all of these animals to drink. He was by the well, and he found a very unique scenery. He says, here is a hole that it seems like the whole town is out to give water to the animals to drink. This is a whole town in one area giving water to their animal. But he also noticed that at a distance there were two girls, that they had also some of their sheep, and they're fighting off tadudan. They were fighting off their sheep so that they would not mix with the rest of all of the animals of the town. And that was kind of the thing that caught the eyes of Musa alayhi salam. And he went to the two girls. He says, "Ma khatbukuma?" He said, "What is your dilemma?" He did not say, "Ma sha'nukuma," what are you doing? He says, al-khatb. Al-khatb in Arabic is something that is very serious. It's a very serious dilemma.